All right, ladies, welcome everyone this evening to our mental and cognitive health educational seminar. It is 7 o'clock if you're watching this live. Remember, you guys can go back and watch this, or any of your friends who missed this can register. This is on demand and you can watch it anytime.
All right. So we are so glad you guys are joining us. It is right at 7 o'clock. I'm sure we're going to have people coming in the next couple of minutes, but I know I like to start on time. So welcome, everyone. My name is Coach Anna, and I'm co hosting tonight along with Coach Suzanne and Linda Hatz, who is a certified clinical. We were just discussing this, Linda.
Social work.
Therapist, social worker. And we know a thing or two about mental and cognitive health, and we are so glad that you guys took a couple minutes out of your night to join us. And one of the first things I want to do tonight, because 7 o'clock, we're talking about mental and cognitive health. So I want you guys to close your eyes for a second and do one thing. Inhale. We're going to just do this 3 times. So close your eyes and just breathe in. Exhale, letting go, releasing. Again, inhale, breathe in. Exhale, release. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Now, that is one thing that you can do throughout the day to improve your mental and cognitive health, and something I do with all of my clients. So, we are going to talk tonight about other strategies to have performance. Now, I do have to say that none of the statements here tonight are going to, here we go. Suzanne, I'm going to have to, there we go. Excuse me, I'm having some technical difficulties. So none of the statements contained in the following presentation have been evaluated by the FDA. The ingredients discussed are not intended to diagnose, train, cure, or prevent any diseases. We're just simply discussing our experiences. So we're going to begin by talking about the mature, healthy brain. So as a person gets older, there are changes in all parts of the body, including the brain. And it's funny that we are bringing this up tonight because I have actually been working with several friends and several clients whose parents are more mature and are experiencing some cognitive changes in their life now. So certain parts of the brain are at risk with aging, especially those parts that are important to learning and other complex mental activities, making the brain fitness a primary target. And blood flow to the brain is also critically important. So this requires sufficient antioxidant and mineral support. And what cognitive decline looks like. So this looks like memory loss, language difficulties, and abnormal behavior. When you start to see changes that are outside of the norm, advance of brain cell connections, abnormal clumps of tangled fibers in the brain, and loss of mental and physical independence that you or someone may have experienced before, and what mental health decline feels like. So loss of mental focus, which we've all had from time to time. Life gets really busy, but when it's ongoing, or you're also experiencing mental or emotional instability, it could be a decline in mental and cognitive function. Loss of slow wave sleep patterns and decline of healthy brain tissue due to lifestyle. So excessive drinking or consumption of chemicals and sugars and other toxins in the body can lead to mental decline. So mental and physical activity. So the brain consists of a vast network of approximately 90 billion neurons and 1,000 trillion synaptic junctions. But mentally and physically challenging activities increase our ability to learn by enhancing that synaptic plasticity and initiating neurogenesis, which is critical in areas of the brain. So the brain can actually rewire itself. You can refire neurons and rewire your brain. And cognitive decline. So it is a lot more common than you might think. And I know Suzanne and Linda and I discuss this a lot with our clients. So ask yourself, do you have trouble with focusing at work, finishing a task? Do you or someone in your life complain about brain fog, right? Forgetfulness, feeling overwhelmed by the details, mental fatigue, depression, anxiety. Now, all of these things can be brought on from a mental decline, and all of these things can also bring about a mental decline. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. So we're all really familiar with emoji faces these days, and we're going to talk really quickly about the 4 faces of adrenal burnout. So you see a girlfriend over here, little happy face. She is wired for sound. She has high cortisol levels and high neurotransmitters. And cortisol is the stress hormone, which we discuss a lot in some of our other Zooms as well. So the second one, this guy is wired and tired. He has high cortisol, high stress levels, but very low neurotransmitters. And the angry little guy over here, he's wired and he's tired. He has low cortisol and high neurotransmitters. So there's that anger. That's anger for real right there. And just plain tired. Little Eeyore over there, Mr. Blue Guy. He has low cortisol and low neurotransmitters. Now, you do need cortisol in your body, but not too much of it and not too little. So what limits optimal health today? Well, stress does alter hormonal balances. What limits optimal mental health? Disrupted sleep, circadian imbalance. This is often brought on by shift work or irregular schedules in your sleep and your work and your play. Excessive blue light and constant stimulation, media overload, and mobile devices. Now, this is something that I work very closely with my clients on because I know that myself, I was guilty of this years before, where your phone is the last thing you have in your hand at night and the first thing that you're picking up in the morning often. And all that blue light and all of that stimulation, it's changing the neurotransmitters in your brain, the chemicals in your brain. And you're looking at social media most likely, or media, and seeing what's going on in the world, which is changing your thoughts and changing your brain patterns and your sleep, your brain chemistry. So making sure to turn that blue light off before you go to sleep, quite some time before you go to sleep. You don't want this computer screen, the media, social media being the last thing that you look at before you go to sleep at night. That can disrupt your sleep patterns. And other risk factors for cognitive and mental health. So social network disengagement. Now this is different than social network disengagement. So social network disengagement from social media, that would be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So that's that disengagement. But social network disengagement, when you are disengaging from your social network, the people that you do socialize with, like your friends, your family, and often people as they do get older becoming less social and disengaging, which can lead to cognitive and mental health decline. Introverted personalities, we all know a couple of them. I love several of them, but that introverted personality can cause people to stay introverted and not have that social interaction, which can lead to mental decline. Lack of physical exercise, often as people are getting older, or aches and pains, they don't want to move and they're lacking that exercise they need to be doing. It's just about finding what is appropriate exercise for you, so you continue to keep your body move. And a non-stimulating lifestyle, or not having enough physical labor. And we're not saying that you need to go and decide to start running marathons right now, but having some stimulating lifestyle, go for a walk, physical labor, move some rocks around in your garden, just move. Your body's designed to move. Age-related decline in cognition. So cerebrovascular compromise. So cerebrovascular, that is brain and blood flow. That is what that means. And cerebrovascular compromise can be something like a stroke or dementia, where there has been blood cut off or blood involved in the brain. Hormonal imbalances, so aging, oxidative stress. So what we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're breathing, inflammation in our bodies, and fitness. So move, like we said, just move. If there's a lack of fitness, if there's great inflammation in the body, if there's hormone imbalances, all of these things can lead to a decline in health and mental health. So consider your environment too. Inflammation is a significant trigger for cognitive and mental health decline. And inflammation is brought on by so many things, and inflammation causes so many negative things in the body, everything from allergies to headaches to cancer. So when inflammation exists in the body acts. And inflammation, when it's prolonged, disease progresses. So increased inflammation leads to earlier onset heart disease, earlier onset diabetes, and increased progression in those things as well. Sometimes I click a little too fast, guys. So what lifestyle factors are involved? And Linda, I know that this is something that you do work with very closely throughout the day. Traumatic emotional events and physical trauma can lead to cognitive decline. I'm sure that you work a lot with patients on this. Chronic sleep deprivation. You know, when you can't shut your brain off at night because you do have that trauma, whether it's physical or emotional trauma, you can't shut your brain off. You're probably not sleeping. You're definitely not resting. So chronic sleep deprivation can lead to a faster decline in cognitive health. Infections and inflammatory diseases, exogenous toxins, that's toxins outside the body coming into the body. Again, that could be brought on by food, what you're drinking, what you're breathing, the environments that you're in, obviously aging, oxidative stress, acute physical stress, nutritional insufficiencies, something that all three of us on this call work very closely with people on. Nutritional insufficiencies, we're not getting in all the nutrients that we need from the foods that we eat these days, even if you are eating really well. Food allergies, intolerance or sensitivities. You know, you hear a lot of people who have celiac now, but a lot of people also have food allergies or just intolerance or sensitivities to things like gluten, soy, and dairy. So changes in gut microbiota and pharmaceuticals. I know so many people who are on so many different pharmaceuticals, and their brain function and cognitive health is not what it used to be. And we're working towards increasing that these days. So single nucleotide polymorphisms. Now, this is also known as gene SNP, SNP. And so I am going to be having my gene SNP done pretty soon. It's something I do recommend because it's going to tell you a lot about your genes, a lot about you and certain triggers and where we might be able to adjust some things in your hormones and in your diet naturally so that we are increasing our cognitive health and our brain function. And what signals are you sending your brain? So inflammation brought on by diet, immunity, wear and tear. So inflammation brought on by your diet, like I was saying earlier, sugar is a big trigger in causing inflammation in the body. And so it triggers sugars in everything, it seems these days. Immunity, if your immune system is weakened, there's often a decline in cognitive function. Wear and tear on your body, so that leads to inflammation. You know, athletes, injuries. I'm sure you guys know a thing or two about that wear and tear, which can lead to inflammation in the body. Toxicity in the body can bring about cognitive decline. That toxicity, again, can come from your diet, consumption of sugars, chemicals, alcohol, occupational environment or occupational, people that work a lot around chemicals or paints, and of course, environment, mold, oxidative stress. So lack of healthy blood flow. You know, if you're not moving, that blood's not flowing and pumping into the extremities of your body, then you don't have a healthy blood flow. So that oxygen and those nutrients aren't getting to all the parts of your body that you need. And free radical cascades. So all the free radicals that our body's trying to fight off. And if you're not able to, then it's causing inflammation in the body. And lack of hormones, so trophic support, estrogen, testosterone, and insulin, you know, people going through menopause, men that are maturing that are seeing a decrease in their testosterone levels, and of course insulin, diabetics, and nutrient competition, omega-6 versus omega-3. You know, we have a lot of omega-6s in our diets and things like vegetables and vegetable oils, and vegetable oils, and the things that we are consuming just as normal consumers, but we're seeing we need to get more omega-3s into our diet to make up for that, and zinc versus copper. So again, we work with people with nutritional deficiencies to increase the vitamins and nutrients that your body and your brain need for proper function. So did you know that oxidative stress from accumulation of zinc and iron are examples of nutritional risk factors for oxidative stress and cognitive health? And the use of antacid similar medications deplete zinc, which competes with both copper and iron's role in oxidative stress and cognitive health. And I know zinc is something I've been talking a lot about lately because zinc can stop viral replication. And that is something that's very important to me and a huge topic of discussion these days. So toxins, including pesticides, which is often in a lot of the vegetables that we're getting in the store, the foods that we're just getting in the store, and can offset nutritional impacts. So your body, you might think you're getting in certain nutrients, but it's not impacting your body because your body's not able to break them down and absorb them. Chronic alcohol consumption, and we call alcohol sugar with a kick. Sugar creates inflammation in the body. Well, sugar with a kick creates a whole lot of inflammation in the body, and blood sugar spikes and crashes, and can decrease gut absorption of the essential nutrients critically important to brain health. And cognitive and mental health and support. So research is revealing that nutrition is vital to support and promote brain function, especially as we age. Included is the ability to support mental wellness. And the American diet is vastly deficient in key nutrients that support brain function. And I know that we have had several Zooms the last few weeks, and we'll continue to have a few Zooms throughout the holiday season talking about the American diet deficiencies and key nutrients that can support brain function. So what can you do to support and promote cognitive function? So what is normal? So everyone has a progressive decline due to age and hormonal changes. So the question I want you to answer is, what can you do to alter your path? Because you can do something. So ask yourself, what can you do to alter your path? Because I'm sure all of you would like increased brain function and cognitive health. We want to feel like we're smart. But some of the things that we can do right away, like I said, breathe. Do that throughout the day. Manage your blood sugars through diet. So checking labels, seeing how much sugar you're taking in throughout the day. Maybe work with the coach on that. Maintain healthy, lean muscle mass through fitness. We're not saying go and become Arnold Schwarzenegger, because your fitness is going to look different than mine or Suzanne's or Linda's or your neighbors. But having some level of fitness to increase some lean muscle tissue, because muscle is metabolism and metabolism is life. And taking steps to support your metabolic health with things like omega-3 fatty acids, also great for your brain health and your heart health. Amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscle tissue. Antioxidants, so those fight the free radicals, all that stuff that's causing oxidative stress and breakdown. And B vitamins, magnesium, and vitamin D. Now, I see these deficiencies so often in people that are on various pharmaceuticals. And the deficiencies in these things can cause things like depression. And you see that also with vitamin D in parts of the United States and parts of the world where the sun doesn't shine quite as often. There's that vitamin D deficiency, and there's an elevated level of depression throughout the population. And magnesium, I'm sure some of you saw my post on social media last night. That was part of my nighttime cocktail. I work a lot with clients that have restless leg syndrome, and they drink some magnesium at night to help them to be able to rest before bed. And your diet. So a note on blood sugar. I talk about this a lot, so do Suzanne and Linda, because elevated blood glucose exerts adverse effects on my screen is moving, sorry guys, on neuronal integrity. There we go. Some consequences for cognition and mental health stability. So insulin affects the thyroid function. Thyroid function affects insulin production, and the brain does not get signaling or organizational cues as it once did from insulin. And this is something that we discuss often in one of our programs, and that's that insulin resistance. So diabetics, people that have spikes and crashes in their blood sugars, are the ones that are, craving other sweets, taking in too much sugar. It's affecting their thyroid, their adrenals. So your diet and the amount of sugar that you're taking in and when does affect your brain function as well. And cognitive health and mental health decline is multi-causal. So it's not just one thing, okay, guys? So estrogen deficiency or menopause can bring about mental health decline. Testosterone deficiency. So again, we're seeing these as we're aging. Insulin resistance, diabetics, lack of brain-derived neuropeptide factors. And strategies to to improve cognitive mental health. So I'm going to bring this over to Suzanne and Linda, and they're going to discuss with us the reduction, restoration, and recovery strategies to improve cognitive and mental health. So here's where the challenge lies. If no two people are the same, how do we personalize our approach? Suzanne, Linda, I'm going to let you guys discuss adjusting unhealthy lifestyle factors.
I think it's been really interesting, all the slides that Anna went through. I think the synergy between when you talk about cognitive health and mental health, I think that you can't have one without the other. When you have good cognitive health, when you're taking care of your brain, the way with the nutrition, with the exercise, with the stress management in terms of breathing, what you're doing during your day, your relationships, has a direct impact on what your mental health is going to look like. And so when I say, brain wellness, I'm going to then also say that it has a direct impact on your mental wellness. So we need to really be paying attention to what are our lifestyle factors. And I use a lot with my clients what's called a wellness wheel. So we're going to look at, what's our jobs like? What's our spiritual life like? What's our relationships like? Our recreational. And when I rate those with people, where are areas that we can make changes in. Now I'm new to this, so I've got a technical difficulty. How do I get to move forward?
Click. Yeah.
Yep,
click.
I did. Yeah.
Learning new technologies
I
can
know.
increase our brain function.
Exactly. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Click one more time, Linda. You got it.
Okay. So here's some, we can look at some specific things, in terms of lifestyle. How much sun are we getting? Because, and again, like I live in the upstate New York area, and one of, the cloudier areas of the country. So I have limited sun exposure. So I know that I'm going to have a deficient D vitamin. So I'm going to make sure that I'm getting that supplement throughout my day. How much alcohol are we drinking during our week? And again, we can look at a time right now when we're dealing with some really different circumstances. How are we managing our lifestyle? We're home more, so are people drinking more? Are we smoking more? Are we eating more sugar? What types of things are we doing that are going to either shoot our blood sugar up and then drop us to a crash? Exercising, again, stress. And when we talk about stress and we talk about cortisol, cortisol is a really important hormone within our body. It's not all bad, but when our body then floods with it, that's where we run into trouble. And that's where we have being able to manage our stress. And one of the things that I will talk about all day long is how we're sleeping at night. I think that's probably the number one health indicator that impacts our health, how we're sleeping, because that then determines how we're going to navigate our day the next day. So really be paying attention to that. Did I go? So support and restoration, brain function, how with antioxidants and fatty acids. I know that Suzanne's really strong. She believes, so I'm going to turn this over to you, Suzanne, talk about this a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think for me, the antioxidants comes into play with a plant-rich diet. Plants have to defend themselves against nature. And so we have toxins, Anna was speaking about all the toxins that come into our body. Linda, you just spoke about, alcohol consumption. If it's excessive, we have all of these pollutants and things running around, free radicals running through our body. And so those antioxidants are going to help keep us healthy. Keeping our cells healthy and how our neurons fire and communicate with one another. So we do want to have a synergy or a good supportive blend of nutrients that support your cognitive health, which in turn will support your mental health. So some of the things that we should think about in our diet is, again, there's that getting those plant derived antioxidants. So think about getting a variety of plants in your diet. Think about getting the rainbow in your diet, right? All of the colors. Some of the highest antioxidants can be found in foods that are red, blues, and purples. They're all very beneficial, so don't just limit there. Coenzyme Q10, B vitamins are essential for neurological function. So anytime you hear the root word neuro, right, we're speaking about your brain. And so B vitamins metabolize carbs, fats, and proteins, and that's how they give us energy. They're also supporting our mental well-being, right, and how we manage stress or anxiety, and how we're able to respond to stressors throughout the day. And so getting sleep would also be important to that, Linda. You mentioned that. Getting the amino acids. Amino acids are a really great nutrient that can support your brain health and give you energy without. So if you feel like you need energy, I think a lot of people reach for those coffee, but energy drinks, right? And so, but those are full of chemicals and they're stimulants, and caffeine can be a natural, fine stimulant for the body, but we're overdoing it, and that's having a negative impact on our body. So consuming quality amino acids will give your brain the energy, thereby giving your body the energy that you need to get through the day. And clinical studies also show that magnesium can help manage stress and anxiety, which is part of our mental well-being. So our bodies can't produce. So let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids for a moment. We know that since conception, the body needs omega-3 fatty acids for the brain development. We know in peer-reviewed studies that so pregnant mothers can reduce the likelihood or the severity of postpartum depression by consuming omega-3 fatty acids. And all of that is because the brain is made of mostly fats. And so we do want a healthy fat-rich diet. So if you eat keto, that might be a great step, but we need to talk about the sources of the fat that we're getting. So just eating bacon and cream cheese isn't going to do it. We do want to think about plants. Plant-based fats are going to be the best fats, and omega-3 fatty acids that are going to support the brain. And egg yolks are also a great source of fats. So fats help our brain, fats help our hormones. So don't be afraid of fats. How are you getting your fats through your diet, right? How much fat should you consume? Do you have to supplement, and how much? So let's talk about some of those things. All right, so go ahead, Linda. Yep, we'll talk about marine oils and fish. So scientific research does show that regular use of omega-3 fatty acids are beneficial for mood and cognition, and also show attention and behavior increases with the regular use of omega-3 fatty acids. So as Anna mentioned, our diet unfortunately is reversed as far as the ratio of omega-3s and omega-6s that we're consuming. So think about like salad dressings, make those at home because they're high in omega-6s, right? So just use your olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, or grapeseed oil. Those are some of the better oils versus the pro-inflammatory oils. Creating that inflammation in the brain would be vegetable oils, canola oils, corn oils, things like that. We just don't know, right? So even getting those omega-3s in our children's diet is going to be essential for their function, their brain function, and the school that they're doing, and the focus that they have to have now in the computer. Omega-3 fatty acids also help lubrication in your eye. So that's another topic, but why not get all of these benefits, right? So we are looking for quality DHA and EPA ratios in our omega-3 fatty acids. Thank you. Great. Okay. So we do know that low intake of omega-3 fatty acids is associated with cognitive decline. And conversely, we also know that a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids can help with the prevention of cognitive decline. So we do want to prevent that decline from happening, right? And so we know that not only is that going to help it, it's going to help increase our brain function and our mental well-being. So, okay. So yes, go ahead, Linda.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep. All right. So, what kind of omega-3 fatty acids? We talked about some of the foods that we need to be eating and focusing on plant-based, healthy fatty acids. So, if you're taking an omega-3 fish oil, that's a great way to bridge the gaps with your nutrition and make sure you are getting in quality concentrated enough. Like I don't know about you, but I'm not eating like 5 salmon a week, right? And if we are eating salmon, it should be wild caught versus farm raised, right? So if you're taking omega-3 fatty acids, that's fantastic. If you're not, that might be something for you to consider. If you are, go ahead and put them in the freezer tonight and check them tomorrow night, because that's an easy way without being an expert on reading labels, which we can help you do as well. So the person who invited you tonight can follow up with you, or one of us coaches, certified coaches, can help you read some labels. But fish or excuse me, oil doesn't freeze, water does. So if your omega crystallizes or freezes, you're buying water. That might be a buy one, get one free deal, right? So quality does matter, right? If you have a dog, you know that you want good, healthy skin and joints. So you're not going to buy a $5, 50-pound bag of dog food. In addition to our brain health, which is our topic for tonight, we spoke about eye health, and I mentioned heart health, joints, joint lubrication, digestive lubrication for me. Skin health is a great benefit from omega-3 fatty acids. And this nutrient should be coming from your food, but we're just not getting enough of the right foods in, or sometimes it's what we are eating that's preventing, like the ladies spoke about, mostly Anna earlier, that some of these foods are actually some of the non-healthy food choices that we're making are preventing the absorption of. You're thinking, well, I do eat salmon and I do eat nuts and I do eat avocados, but do you have good gut health? Are you eating too much sugar? So there's many factors that go into creating a healthy diet for yourself in balance and harmony with all of that. All right. So one thing about, you can go ahead and click
Okay.
that was my last slide. So let's go back. Here, I'll go back. Okay.
Right.
One of the things about the heart health omega-3 fatty acid that we choose for ourselves and for our clients and our family too, is that we want to make sure that we're using small fish in the oceans, because the higher up, the bigger fish. Okay, let me say that again. The higher up the food chain you go, the bigger the fish get, which means they're eating more and more underneath. So they're becoming more toxic as they get larger. So there's less toxicity in the smaller fish. And I think I also forgot to mention too, 3,000 milligrams. How much are you getting? How much does your fish oil have of omega-3 fatty acids? Usually most of them are around 1,000, maybe 1,500, I think is the highest I've seen. So if you're going to take something, if you're going to supplement, you want to make sure it's high quality and the right dosage as well. And the Heart Health Company has done all of the testing for us. And we know that there's no contamination in this fish oil either. All right. Another supplement that is beneficial for brain health and that I love very much for many reasons is curcumin extreme. So you may have heard about, you may be familiar with turmeric. So turmeric is an amazing spice to use, and we should be doing all these little things that we can do to create a healthy lifestyle. Managing alcohol and toxins in the air and things like that, but we can't control it all. Well, turmeric is great to add to your diet, but it's just not enough concentration. It's not a high potency to be sprinkling it on your food, even if it's every day. And so supplementing with curcumin is going to help. The curcumin extreme is going to help mainly with the toxins and the killing of the unhealthy cells, toxic cells in your body. So not just detoxification, but actually apoptosis and killing those cells. I loved this ingredient for my father, who was very, very sick. and because of the benefits. So you guys can you can even look up the curcumin extreme and read. The person who invited you can send you some information on it. It's going to promote, not only is it going to, again, take away those negative effects of the toxicity and the inflammation, all of these things that are contributing to cognitive decline. This is going to help reduce those negative impacts, but also promote life and livelihood and repair and restoration and regeneration inside of your body as well. So we're going to help maintain neurological health here for the conversation that we're having tonight. And you're going to be getting the other benefits as well. Now, notice too, on your left, you see those 3 images there. Something that's important, just like your diet and just like your lifestyle, there's not one area of focus to think about, right? You're not just going to eat broccoli. You need to get all the other colors in that I spoke about. You're not just going to focus on diet. You're also going to get exercise. You're going to practice, meditation and yoga and things like that. So stress management. And so this curcumin extreme has these 3 ingredients here that you see. And so again, it's that synergistic blend, just like nature is already designed, right? Nothing in nature acts alone. So these are thoughtfully put together to have the greatest positive impact on your body. So one of some other differences too is that whatever is in the bottle is in the bottle, right? Unfortunately, when we go to these stores like Costco and Target and Walmart, we don't know what we're getting, and it's not those stores, it's those products, because they're recalled all of the time, and then the shelves are cleared off, and they have to fix those products. So we know what we're getting here. These studies are done throughout not just the US, but in other countries who have higher standards than us. And there are numerous peer-reviewed studies on the curcugreen in the curcumin extreme. So I know that you're thinking there's other curcumins out there, there's other turmerics out there, but we just need to know, what is the difference? And we want to get the effects, right? I'm sure if you're like me, you've taken something before and it just hasn't, as far as supplementation, maybe it didn't work like it was supposed to. It wasn't you. It was just maybe the quality of that. And you have these other factors too, as far as gut health is one to think about. So support, endurance, and drive. Linda, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this section.
Okay, so this really, again, goes hand in hand with everything that Suzanne and I have talked about, because when we're supporting our brain health, when we're getting the curcumin, when we're getting the fish oil, the omega-3, that's going to support how our brain is functioning to then again, so that we have the endurance and the stamina to make it through our day. Because a lot of us are feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, our mental wellness. And if we don't have the nutrition behind us, or the sleep or the gut health behind us, we're not going to have the stamina to make it through our day. So how can we do that? Some of the products, when I'm working with people in my office, it's really important for me. I start from a baseline of health. I'm gonna actually do a health history with you, and I'm gonna talk about what's going on with your gut health, what's going on with your brain health, with your sleep, what's your life. And a lot of times, again, because if we're under stress, our body is using up B. B is not something that we can really get from our food, so we have to take a B. And the isotonics, I think one of my passions about this particular product is, in order to get the quality and the level of what you're getting, the first step would really be getting a shot. You'd have to go like once a week and get a shot of this, where this you can take daily, and you can take it as you need it through your day to give you the energy that you're needing to get through. And B is, again, it's a vitamin that's going to meet you kind of where you're at. So if you're kind of like low, not having energy, it's going to help you come up. If you're like really stressed and you're working from up here, it's gonna level your mood. It's a really important to balance your mood throughout your day. So I love B. And what I'm going to also do is say to you, yes, that I'm going to combine the two. This is probably I can't even say that it's my favorite. I've probably got 4 favorites. And ACTS, adrenal cortisol thyroid support, works again, adaptogen herbs. Okay. And so when we say adaptogen, again, it's meeting your body where you're at. So again, when I'm saying like we're up here, we're feeling a lot of anxiety, like I've got a presentation, I've got a test, I've got to get through my day. It's going to help you come down. Okay. If I'm feeling really down, like, oh my God, I did a terrible job, I can't make it. What am I going to do? It's going to bring you up. Okay. When you combine the bees and the axe together, the synergy between those two products is helping you to have a stable mood, to have you feel like you've got you've got the stamina to make it through your day. Um, when people are looking again to get cognitive health and like what's going on underneath our adrenals, our thyroid, um, those are the kinds of things that are again giving us energy to get through our day. So make sure that we're taking products if we know that we're stressed, that we're taking things that are going to support us to get through. And here's some more information about Axe. Like, so if you can go through and you can look at some of the ingredients, and again, the combination of these ingredients are amazing. So there's holy basil, there's ashwagandha, there's L-theanine, I can't see, rhodiola. And so when you get all of these together, again, the combination is going to support your energy and meeting your body where you need it most. Another part of, like, and again, we talked about cortisol earlier, our fight or flight response. So Axe can help manage that release of cortisol, because what happens, like, it's like there's this little flap in your brain. And so when like that goes off and you start flooding your brain with cortisol, how am I going to help that shut down so that I can get down to a baseline of calm? Well, acts like that. It's like it just kind of pulls that lever right down so the cortisol isn't flooding your brain anymore, and you can then kind of move through your day. The third product that, again, is magnesium. Now, magnesium's a mineral. What that does, and I will say to people, like, it attaches to your brain. Okay, so it's going to go right, again, cognitively, it's going to go to your brain. And what that does is then attaches to your muscles. So that information goes to your muscles to help you relax. So that when you're tight and you're stressed through here, it shuts off the blood flow to your brain. So then I'm not thinking clearly and I can't sleep, or I'm having brain fog. Well, if you relax that, then your thoughts become much clearer. If I'm tight and stressed without magnesium, the depletion of magnesium, my gut is going to tighten up. So then digestively, I'm not going to be able to do what I need to with my food. And so that if I'm not being able to move my food through my body to go through elimination, that means my brain's not going to get what I need in order, again, to maintain a balanced mental wellness. So again, you can go down and kind of look at through the different, strengths of promoting head comfort, adaptation to stress, optimal muscle health and comfort, blood sugar levels, healthy sleep quality. A lot of clients that I work with like have trouble sleeping at night, and like menopausal women, they'll talk about like their restless leg. Well, magnesium helps because it's helping your muscles to relax. And when your muscles are relaxed, you can breathe. I loved when Anna opened us up with breathing. If we can't breathe, everything's going to tighten up, and we're not going to make it through. We're not going to have endurance. And magnesium really helps us to do that. So, and and here again is some of the ingredients. There's a difference. There's two different types of magnesium. Okay, the citrate is going to refer to your gut health, and so, like when people are getting their colonoscopies, and they're getting a cleanse to do that, they're getting the magnesium citrate, and that's going to really work with the digestive tract and really release. So that's helping things to move through. The glycate is more of the calming part of magnesium, and that's again where it's going to attach and move through your brain and help kind of these muscles to relax, like your chest muscles, so that you can catch your breath and you can breathe and you can sleep and you can feel a reduction in anxiety. Potassium is a part of that, and within our magnesium, and that's the electrolyte that allows the nerves to work properly. So again, if we've got the combination and the synergy of working with our muscles and then with our nerves, so that we can, again, that synergy allows us to move through anxiety and stress to take us to a more place of relaxation. So that and the omegas are probably, so I've got 4 products that if somebody came into my office and said, I'm really struggling with mental wellness, I'm going to look at what your lifestyle's like, and I'm probably going to suggest that at least for 30 to 90 days that you're trying these to see if you're not getting more balanced. Stress eats up magnesium and stress eats up B's. So you really want to make sure that you're getting quality supplementation to support what you need to get through. And then vitamin D. Okay, again, upstate New York, I think that our fellow watchers who are up here with us, it's snowing and it's cloudy and gray. We're not getting a lot of sun. And so, when Anna's talking about getting outside and getting sun on our skin, we don't always get that option. I want to make sure that you're getting vitamin D. That's something you can get tested with your doctor. Make sure you're going in. You're going to want to take that with a meal because it digests better with a fatty, with some fats and proteins in your meal. But again, you can kind of go through the list of looking at, bone density, healthy arteries, immune health, bone health, cardiovascular health, the elasticity of blood vessels. But it also has a great deal to do with cognitive health, which again is going to turn over to mental wellness. And I'm going to turn this over to Anna as she brings us in for a close.
Unmute myself. Thank you so much, ladies, for that. Thank you. That was incredible. That's incredible information. So, and again, there's so many things that you can do to increase your cognitive and mental health. I highly suggest that you get with the person that invited you on this Zoom tonight to discuss other options for you. Maybe it's diet, exercise, maybe it's supplementation, maybe it's stress reduction, but get with the person that invited you on the Zoom, or Suzanne, myself, or Linda, for any other information or for more information or any questions that you guys may have. But we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Which products might be right for you? Again, discuss that with one of us or the person that invited you on this Zoom. Also, we want to let you guys know, if you're not aware, we do have a private Facebook page called Thrive Through the Holidays, Holiday Hacks, Thrive Through the Holidays. So if you join that private Facebook group, there's lots of information, tips, tricks, recipes, meal plans, workouts, motivation, things to get you through the holiday season so you don't spiral out of control and you're part of a community. So again, I want to thank you guys for being on this Zoom with us tonight. If you have any further questions, reach out to us. And throughout your day, just remember to breathe. Thanks so much. Good night.
Bye.